What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Intergalactic Brew. Once again, coming at you. Here to do my UFC 147 predictions. I know I'm late as hell, but so what? Who's counting? Who's keeping tabs? It's just me. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, better late than never, right? So here's the deal. Only got 2 fights that anybody's really looking forward to, if they're looking forward to them, on this card. So those are the only 2 that I'm really going to discuss. So the co-main event, first fight I'm going to talk about is Fabricio Verdum, Cavallo versus Mike Russo. Simply, Fabricio Verdum can pretty much dictate the fight. You know, he's well-rounded, improved striking, top flight jiu-jitsu. I think he's 2nd degree black belt level. So yeah, he's an ace when it comes to grappling or just the ground in general. Russo is no slouch, but I think everybody's noticed, especially in his recent fights, that his striking is his strength. So that would definitely be what he will need to use in order to pull off what would be like the most mega upset in the heavyweight division. I mean, this probably might even be a bigger upset than when JDS beat him. And when I mean him, I'm talking about Fabricio Verdum, of course. But yeah, Russo's gonna have to knock this guy out, plain and simple. If he does go to the ground with Fabricio Verdum, his night is through. I mean, it's no questions asked. So basically, what Mike Russo is gonna have to do is he's gonna have to come forward. It'll be interesting to see how good his conditioning is coming into this fight. We've known to see Mike Russo get exhausted extremely early in fights. So hopefully he's been, brushing up on his conditioning and getting himself at a good weight so he can be prepared to go all out with Fabricio Verdum. Now, as far as Fabricio Verdum is concerned, even though his striking has improved, he will need to want to get this fight to the ground as soon as possible. If he waits too long to get the fight to the ground, he will get knocked out again for the 2nd time in the UFC. And yeah, that's going to completely just shatter his whole championship plans for the near future. So basically, what I think Fabricio is going to do is he's going to try to come out and combine the punches, elbows, and the knees, as well as some leg kicks, and try to hurt Russo. Now, another thing about Russo, now, I sit up here and I talk about him like he doesn't have a chance to win this fight. He does, but it's a very slim chance. I just got to be honest. But yeah, I mean, he's tough though. I mean, you know, he can take punishment. I mean, his pain tolerance is over 100. So hopefully Verdum will keep tab of that, and he won't try to let his competitive ego get the best of him and just try to end the fight so quick, because that will that will expand a lot of energy for him, and he could lose focus of the strategy and could possibly end up getting caught and dropped. And it's happened to him before, and it could happen again. So, I mean, if Fabricio sees the opening, then by all means take it and try to end the fight as soon as possible. But if Russo is not going down when you hit him with good shots, then my suggestion would just be, to maybe just drop levels and go for a double leg or either pull guard or do whatever you have to do to get the fight to the ground and submit Russo. So yeah, but more than likely, what's gonna happen, unless Fabricio makes a mistake and takes this guy lightly. That's another thing I forgot to mention. Fabricio Verdum has to know, even though this guy is not top 10 material, and he may not be one of the best heavyweights in the division, this is still mixed martial arts, and it's still an unpredictable sport. And within the blink of an eye, Mike Russo can put him out. Ask Todd Duffy. It happened to him. So Fabricio Verdum absolutely positively cannot underestimate this guy, because if he does, he will dearly, dearly pay. And if he gets knocked out by Mike Russo, he will never live that down. That will be completely devastating to him. That'll probably be just as devastating, again, going back to Dos Santos, that'll probably be even more devastating of a defeat than when he lost to JDS. Because basically Mike Russo is in the same situation that JDS is in, a substantial underdog. Nobody's giving him a chance to win, including me. That's sad to say, but then again, I am giving him a chance, because it's like, I know the nature of MMA and I know anything can happen, but still, I mean, I just have a feeling that Fabricio is going to take this fight seriously, and he's going to be able to, submit Mike Russo. But like I said, Fabricio can't come in and take this guy lightly. I mean, if he sees an opening, he's got to take advantage of it right then and there and end the fight. Because the longer the fight goes, in my opinion, like if this fight goes past like the first or second round, that is going to play greatly into the hands of Mike Russo. So, but yeah, you definitely can't take this guy lightly, because, like I said, this is one of those Junior Dos Santos situations. Nobody really knows who Mike Russo is. Like I said, substantial underdog. So, if Fabricio doesn't want to relive that same nightmare that he faced with JDS, then, like I said, he needs to put the guy away. But I think he will. So, I'm going to go with Fabricio Verdum by submission. And going on to the main event, of course. In my opinion, I think this fight is going to go the distance for some reason. But then again, I don't know. Knowing Wanderlei Silva and the way he's been fighting lately, this fight could end early. But anyway, it's Rich Franklin, the ace, going up against the axe murderer, Wanderlei Silva. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention, this is in Brazil. I didn't mention that earlier, but I mention it now. All of this is taking place in Brazil. I'm just letting y'all know that. But anyway, yeah, this is the sequel, so to speak, of the first fight between these two. Of course, it's well documented. Took place back in 2009 in Germany, and y'all pretty much know what happened. Rich Franklin emerged the winner of that fight. A lot of people will argue that the fight was controversial. You could look at it either way, but bottom line is, it's a win for Rich Franklin, and that's how it's going to go down in the books. Basically, breaking down this fight is, for Rich Franklin, I mean, he needs to be smart or smarter than he was in the first fight, because he did get caught a lot by Wanderlei in his tornado of strikes, so to speak. And it's funny, on the countdown, he was mentioning about how Vanderlei fights like a tornado, and he was saying if you get caught in that tornado, you know, you're in danger. So Rich Franklin could take his own advice and stay out of that tornado, and the way he can do that is to do what he does best, and that's use his footwork and his head movement and be more technically sound than Vanderlei, which we all know that Rich Franklin is. So, yeah, I just think what it's going to come down to for the Ace is just being a lot smarter and, just creating opportunities to go for the finish, whether it be by knockout or submission, because Rich Franklin is a well-rounded fighter. So, yeah, that would be my advice. Just fight smart and intelligent, and create opportunities to finish the fight. That's really my ways to win for Rich Franklin. As far as Vanderlei, just be Vanderlei. Go out there like a whirlwind and try to catch Rich Franklin. That's pretty much it, man. Just let Vanderlei be Vanderlei. I mean, it's gotten him this far, so why should he stop? But for some reason, though, I feel like Vanderlei is going to try to come out and try to, be something that he's not, which is fighting a technical fight. Now, I'm not saying that's bad, per se, but I mean, just knowing him, I mean, that style that he fights with was working for him in the first fight with Franklin, because he caught Franklin with, I think that was a right hand, like right on the chin, and he caught him so hard, he made Rich break his foot, or I think he either sprained it or won, but I know something happened with Franklin's foot that he got hit so darn hard by one of Vanderlei's punches. So yeah, that wild style, worked for Silva. But I mean, if he comes out and fights a technical fight, that could be bad and good for him. Because if he comes out and fights Franklin's fight, then that's gonna favor Franklin more, and that'll give Franklin more time to apply his strategy and take his time to wear Vanderlei down and take him out. So Vanderlei needs to come out and be himself and fight at a fast pace so that he can allow Rich Franklin to settle into his strategy. But you know what? As much as Vanderlei likes to say he's going to come out and fight a much different fight, I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to come out. He's going to be so caught up in the moment. And then on top of that, he's fighting in his home country. So, he's just going to throw all the strategy out the window like he usually does. And he's going to come out and just be a human tornado. And then he'll eventually get caught and dropped. And Rich Franklin, I believe, will finish him once he drops him with that one good punch, and Rich Franklin will win this fight by TKO or by decision, but most likely it'll be TKO. I don't know. More than likely, I'll say decision. I'm gonna go with decision. I'll put it like this: Rich will be on the verge of knocking Vanderlei out or putting him away, so to speak. But being that Vanderlei is so tough, which he is tough. But then again, he is vulnerable at the same time, if that makes any sense. But anyway, Rich Franklin, if he doesn't knock him out, he'll at least hurt him enough to score points, and I could see him winning the fight by decision. I'd probably say split decision in the first fight, I say Vanderlei probably wins, maybe wins the first round. I'll say that, and then Rich comes back and wins the second and third round. So there you go. Rich Franklin by split decision. Wow. I believe this is one of the shortest videos I've ever done. But yeah, that's just the way it goes. I really can't give any predictions on the Tough Brazil finals or whatever, because I didn't get a chance to watch it, number one. And no offense, and all my Brazilian people here on YouTube, don't take this the wrong way, but I probably couldn't even understand what they were saying. I would have had to keep up with the subtitles and everything. So I mean, I just can't comment on something that I haven't seen. So that's why I really can't give you any predictions on the Tough finale Brazil. But it should be some good fights. I will say that. Brazilians, they always come out and they fight hard, they fight aggressively, they fight very intensively. So or intensive, I should say. So yeah, it should be some good scraps between the four tough finalists, and you're more than likely to see a knockout or a submission, something spectacular. The Brazilians always bring it, especially on pay-per-view. They always bring it. Trust me. So we're in for some good fights with those two fights. But other than that, man, it should be a pretty good card, I'll say. But we'll see what happens. But anyway, that's gonna do it for me, and I will catch y'all on the next video for UFC 148. And I think that is the card that we are anxiously anticipating. I don't think that's why there wasn't too many predictions given for this card, because everybody's just waiting for this one to get out of the way so we can get to UFC 148 with Anderson Silva and Chael Sonnen, which I believe is going to be fight of the year again, this time in 2012. So y'all mark that down. But anyway, I'll catch y'all later. Deuce.